Like A Christmas Carol?
Yes, yes, if you would just let me get this out. Sit.
So out of all the people on the planet, murderers, people who do gender reveal parties, I'm the guy you're gonna haunt.
You know what? Forget it.
All right, that was a clip from Spirited starring Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. And what better way to spend the holidays than in front of a warm fire, watching some great holiday flicks? Who better ask this holiday season for his picks than Richard Crouse, our resident film critic. Richard, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thanks for joining us.
Same to you, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Richard, let's start with a relatively new one, Spirited. Is this one destined to become a holiday classic?
I think it just might. This is a movie that has some legs. People still talk to me about this, even though it came out last year. It's on Apple TV Plus, called Spirited. Stars Will Ferrell as the ghost of Christmas Present. He's been doing it for 200 years. And he's getting kind of tired of the gig. So he thinks, well, maybe I'll retire, but I'm going to take on one last job, the most horrible person in the world. And it's like a hedge fund guy played by Ryan Reynolds. And then the world kind of goes sideways. So this is A Christmas Carol, but told from the point of view of the ghosts. Not so much from the point of view of Scrooged. And the songs are great. There's one called Good Afternoon that is particularly, a toe tapper and a lot of fun. And it's got some good Christmas messages. All the stuff that you normally associate with A Christmas Carol is here as well, with two very appealing actors in the lead roles. It's called Spirited, and it's on Apple TV Plus.
All right, so big names in that one. Next up is Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah, this is a staple around my house. I love this movie. This is another riff on A Christmas Carol, but this one's a little bit more mean-spirited. You've got Bill Murray playing a television executive. They've got a big Christmas special that's about to happen, and he's consumed with that to the point where he doesn't bother to get his brother anything for Christmas or just sends him the usual things. He starts having these visitations, though, from ghosts of Christmas past and present and future, and it makes him see the error in his ways. The thing I like about this, though, is that it's really funny. Bill Murray is great in it. Every year I see something different in this movie than I did the year before, called Scrooged. It's on constantly during Christmas, so you should be able to find it fairly easily.
All right, another one that hits well this time of year is The Man Who Invented Christmas, Christopher Plummer, an appearance as Scrooge.
Yeah. And you will wish that Christopher Plummer had actually played Scrooge in, a longer form version of the story once you see this performance. So this is an interesting one because it is the story of how A Christmas Carol was written. Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey plays Charles Dickens, and he's broke and he's out of ideas, and it's not a good time for him. So we see where all the individual inspirations for A Christmas Carol came from in a movie that is quite lighthearted, quite funny, but still has a lot of the same kind of messages that you hope and you expect from a Christmas film. And this one you can find on streaming, called The Man Who Invented Christmas.
All right, and one of the most classics of all classics we can talk about when it comes to holiday movies, It's a Wonderful Life.
I love this movie so much, and I watch it every single year. And I think most people, or a lot of people, join me in that. So a lot of people have seen it, but this thing that I, kind of like thinking about now that I've seen it, I don't know, 100 times, maybe more, is that it was shot during a heat wave. So the most famous scene in the movie is probably where George Bailey, played by the great Jimmy Stewart, is on the bridge, and his life is saved by Clarence Oddbody, the guardian angel. But the thing is, it was 109 degrees or something that day. He's wearing a parka. And if you look at the movie closely, you can see Jimmy Stewart sweating all the way through that scene. So I kind of like some of the trivia that goes behind that one as well.
All right, finally, one that might not be in a lot of people's holiday lists, but tell us about Silent Partner.
Yeah, I wanted to include a movie for a Christmas movie for people who don't love Christmas movies. And this is Silent Partner. This is kind of a classic film of a sort. It's a crime drama. You've got Elliot Gould. He plays a bank teller who gets wind of a criminal enterprise to rob the bank. And it is Christopher Plummer playing Santa Claus. Christopher Plummer made a lot of Christmas-adjacent movies, apparently. And this was shot in Toronto. You see the Eaton Centre in the 1970s. You see some great, acting from Elliot Gould, but really it's all about seeing Christopher Plummer play Santa Claus in this kind of edgy crime thriller that is set during Christmas time. So I thought it belonged on the list. It's called Silent Partner, and it's good stuff.
And you get to see a little bit of Toronto from years past as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Richard Crouse, all the best to you this holiday season. Thanks for some of your top picks for those to curl up by a fire and watch some of these over the next couple weeks. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas.